So personal finance is important because it is the part of life that no one really talks about, but we all have to go through in the part of our life. So for example, choosing between a bowl of ramen or a bowl of bihun is actually also a form of a personal finance decision that we have to go through every single day. So the rule that has really stuck with us for a very long time is this simple quote by Warren Buffett, where he actually shares that a man is sitting in the shade today because of the seed that he planted many, many years ago. And that's the exact same reason why we actually called Seedly as well, because it's all about planting that first seed when you actually start working, because over time, when you look back, you're actually under a shade of a tree because of your investments, of the passive income that you're actually receiving.
Okay, I think for myself, it's actually a quote from my friend. He's a father, and he's quite frugal in his spending. So the quote he gave me is, there's a $500 way of raising a child, and there's a $5 way. As long as you give them the right value, and you spend within your means, both will actually turn out to be an awesome kid.
So when it comes to savings and spending, it's actually very important because for the topic on savings itself, you need actually an emergency fund, which is actually 6 months of your monthly committed expenses. So what that actually means is that in the event that anything bad happens to you, for example, you lost a job, you can actually use this 6 months worth of buffer in your savings accounts that is also highly liquid. Another fancy word for you can actually withdraw the money and use it on a day-to-day basis for your daily life.
I think the key here is to start investing early, because we actually run some numbers, and if you were to start saving $1,000 every month in your 20s versus when you do that in your 30s, right? The amount that you come up with when you save in your 20s is way higher than that when you start saving in your 30s, despite the same amount put aside for investments.
So now you know why budgeting is important. So it's about the how you actually do it. So there are many different ways that people do it. There's the typical Excel way, where you can upload everything online, or to manage it with a partner. Or another way is a simple way as well, which is to actually use the Seedly app, where we actually allow you to budget and manage your money with a simple tap. So what are the common financial mistakes that people actually make?
Okay, so Singaporeans is a very unique bunch. We only start thinking about retirement at age 37, which is really late in our life. And I think some of the mistakes we make is actually living an outdated Singapore dream. So what does this mean? We actually have an overpriced wedding. We take up unnecessary loans for our house and our education. We also get peer pressure into getting a lot more things that we may or may not need, such as a fanciful car or a nice renovation.
The biggest one is always to start young and start early, because there's always this thing called compounding, where over a long period of time, you actually get to grow your money, and it grows faster and faster. The second piece of advice is use technology and use tools to help you make better and smarter financial decisions. And of course, the number 3 advice is to actually be in a community of like-minded folks as well. Don't be worried to actually ask a stupid question, because there are no stupid questions in the world of personal finance. The only person who will end up losing out is yourself if you actually don't ask people who are actually better or smarter than you.
Money and Me on Your Money, only on Money FM 89.3.